The topic of this thesis is a comparison between patriotism and nationalism in Germany in the past and nowadays, and how the past has influenced the current German society. But firstly, it is necessary to clarify the meaning of patriotism and of nationalism. Although both terms are often confused with each other, they are different. Patriotism is the individual or collective effort into success, protection and growth of homeland, aroused by love and faith for it. Homeland is the territory inhabited by a people, to which everyone feels to belong by birth, language, culture, history and tradition. Nationalism is a political and ideological movement that aims at exaltation of nation, perceived as supreme form of social unity. Nation is prior to the state and transcendent individuals themselves. Nation means group of people having common origin, language, history, who are aware of such unity, regardless of its fulfillment in political unity. It is possible to understand that nationalism is a sort of evolution of patriotism taken to extremes. Even if both concepts are quite similar, there is a borderline between them. In the German history, this phenomena mainly rose in the modern history, in the first decades of the 19th century. In this period there was no Germany, but only many little independent states inhabited by German people. So there was a nation, but not a homeland, and this nation was not aware of existing. But Napoleon's invasion in some Western German territories roused the spirit of Germans, who were pervaded by national feeling and sent their common enemy, France, away. So Germans started to feel part of one only people and to dream about a homeland. The national unity became true when all German lands were unified by Prussia, thanks to Otto von Bismarck. In this moment, Germany was born. All Germans had a homeland and harbored a national pride. They were proud of being German and of the important step they had reached, the creation of their own state. This was followed by an astonishing industrial development, thus increasing Germans' fervor, national pride and Germany's fame, even abroad. Many intellectuals started to glorify Germany as the superior country above all other ones. This exaltation took shape in several political parties and colonial plans. Some parties thought about a unification of all European states under German supremacy and to spread its supremacy in Africa with colonies. So this is the right moment where Germans overstepped the red line which divides patriotism from nationalism. This new ultranationalism was related to racism. Proud of Germans' homeland and nation reached very high levels in a quite short time, already at the end of 19th century. In this period, after Adolf Hitler came into power, this ultranationalist and racist ideas became real policy, a full part of German state and society, and the people took on the connotation of race. All Germans did not feel anymore only proud of being German, but followed a real cult of their own homeland and race. Nation was the state. Being German was the first reason of proud of every citizen. This ultranationalist and racist policy provided for marginalization of some specific people or races, considered as dangerous for integrity and continuity of Germany and of its race. This marginalization then took shape in a planned and systematic elimination of millions of people tagged as enemies of the state, so of the nation, for racial or ideological reasons, through the way of crimes perpetrated under the Nazi regime, which are nowadays well known worldwide. Exactly after this period, the German nation proud totally collapsed. At the end of the Second World War, the whole German people came face to face with what occurred in the previous years for which it was responsible. Its reaction was shock, collective sense of guilt, strong self-criticism.
Zieht den Karren aus dem Dreck, alles ist perfekt, alle Windmühlen sind wie weggeblasen.
Re-elaboration of the past became more and more intense over the years, thus raising social criticism, debates, and German sense of guilt spread all over the society. Nowadays, this process is still underway and became a full part of German culture and of recent events. The gradual development of the German collective sense of guilt has then flattened every form of national pride or love for their homeland. World Values Survey, a global research project studying changes of faiths and values of people, carried on 2 surveys where populations of several countries were asked how proud they were of their nationality. Values were included between 1 not proud, and 4, very proud. The first survey was carried on in 13 different countries, including Germany. The most proud country were the United States, with 3.72. The less proud one was Germany, with 2.75. In the second survey, 19 countries were interviewed, and even here Germany proved to be the less proud one, with a score amounting to 1.37. Another important key factor of this process is the German national anthem. It was originally made of 3 verses. The first one began with Germany, Germany above all in the world. These lines originally meant that Germany, as state and unification of German lands, had to be the very first worry of citizens. But in the Nazi time, these lines were totally reinterpreted, conforming them to the racist and warlike ideals of that period. For this reason, from the 50s on, the United States, who were controlling West Germany in those years, censored the first 2 verses. Nowadays, the German national anthem is still made only of the 3rd verse. So, in few decades, the patriotic spirit of Germany has reached 2 extreme points. Firstly, a very high peak, to then abruptly decrease and be almost erased all over the years. The German state and the population are still responsible for what occurred in the past, and will be that forever. The past cannot be deleted, not even changed or forgotten. However, the purpose of past collective experiences is not to repress a love for homeland or national identity, but to make this national identity stronger and to make the population aware and more mature for future experiences. Every single people has the right and the duty to love its own country, since it is cradle of its roots, history, culture, language, tradition, and also to appreciate all other world's countries, since there are other cradles of other roots, history, cultures, languages, traditions. Both our country and other countries contribute to the colorful array of our planet.